Do people recognise you a lot when you're out and about?
Yeah, and I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Because you can get tables at like Pizza Express even when they're fucking packed.
What about guys going down on you and then looking up at you? Have you ever had that happen?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah.
Aren't you busy working?
It's like an epidemic of boring people.
I'm so against the clean girl era. It makes me feel sick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And he sent me links before to Pornhub.
Not true.
You did. You said, I'm going to do this to you. You did. Hi, Wrong'uns. I've missed you, and I'm hoping you're missing the pod. I was reflecting on Series 3 and all the great guests we've had. So many interesting conversations, like eye-wateringly funny moments. And I thought it was only fair to the series to do a kind of mashup of all the best bits and give it to you so you could relive them with us. Here you are. How do you find being a celebrity, apart from that side of it? Do people recognise you a lot when you're out and about?
Yeah, and I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Because you can get tables at like Pizza Express even when they're fucking packed. Yeah, and they're fully booked and they go, oh, yeah, this country, yeah, I can find you a table. My kids think it's fucking great. But
are they aware of like you and the kind of the achievements that you've...
Yeah, they couldn't give a fuck. Honestly, they genuinely could not give a fuck. I went on the Masked Singer because my daughter was such a massive fan, and she was so embarrassed that I went on it and was really upset with me.
Well, she wasn't gassed that you won her favourite show?
No, I thought, you little fucking shit.
And did you enjoy that experience?
No, but I needed the money as well.
Does it pay well?
Yeah.
Does
my
it?
God, of course it does. It's like a public execution. Of course it's going to pay well.
Did you watch was it Macy Gray the other week?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Do you know what? It's brilliant as well. What I read recently is such a good quote about fame. And they say fame is like an MRI scan for the soul. It's like a blue light for the soul, black light for the soul. So if you are a cunt, right, and you become famous, it will only exaggerate that.
I couldn't agree more.
Don't you think so? It's not that fame changes you, it's that you were always that.
I have always said this, and I wholeheartedly agree. If you are a prick, you're just going to be more of a prick.
Yeah.
Like, when people go, oh, money and fame changed them. No, you can't really change someone who they are. Like, you're either a good person or a bad person.
Yes.
That's why I think a lot more men turn into arseholes when they're famous, because they're already arseholes.
Yes.
So the fame exacerbates the arseholeness. Like, after Love Island, it's like the girls just all kind of stay really sweet and humble, and then the boys are like these monsters. I'm like, well, the shoe fucking fits.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you.
Oh, thank you.
We should do this more often.
Oh, I'd love to.
I needed this today.
Do you?
Yeah.
You've done lots of press. Like, how's this comparing so far?
It's the best. It's the best because we can just talk about who's an arsehole and who's great.
Opinions on partners watching porn.
That's normal, no? No, it is normal. Come on. It is. Especially if you don't spend all the time together.
So we do 5 on and the other 2 you're watching porn?
Absolutely.
Oh, God, when girls tell me, my boyfriend doesn't like porn, he thinks it's gross. I'm like, God bless you, hon. He does. I don't actually have a problem with porn per se. However, you have to be very careful with porn because obviously it is created to be addictive.
Yeah, I'm not addicted to it.
I'm just saying, I think that it can be fine, but it also can be negative. Like, it can have a really detrimental effect on people's mind and their sex drives. Like, you haven't suffered this, so you wouldn't know, but you can become obsessed with porn and you have no enjoyment in sex.
I didn't even know that.
Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. I've done documentaries on this shit. It's designed to be addictive, and it steals...
That's quite sad, isn't it?
It's really sad. It steals your dopamine. You become addicted to it, like you get addicted to gambling or smoking or drinking. It's serious. Like, and I think that it should be approached with caution. Like, I have no issue with porn watching, and I think everyone who consumes porn should be mindful.
Yeah, and they should talk about it. If you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Don't keep it secret.
Yeah. Well, you did have it a secret until I saw it.
What?
Well, I seen it. You have a tab on your phone.
No, I don't.
Or like a icon?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. I saw it.
No, I don't.
Like when you go on most frequently visited websites, it's there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe the call's coming from inside the house. I don't want to embarrass you.
Please don't then.
No, but I know that the viewers are probably thinking you saw Pornhub tab.
All right. You want to know what I watch on porn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right. We're keeping that completely secret.
But you just said that couples have to talk about it.
Yeah, the porn watching is enough. To go into actual categories of what I watch is that you don't have to talk about that.
What if it's like sick?
Yeah, but it's not.
Or what if it's like the complete opposite of me?
It's not.
Okay, but you've seen what I watched once.
Yeah.
And he sent me links before to Pornhub.
Not true.
You did. You said, I'm going to do this to you. You did. I want to know what you watch. Like, just give me like one.
No, it's like, it differs.
Like girl on girl.
No, I never do
Girl on boy.
Yes, obviously.
Boy on boy.
No.
MILF.
Sometimes.
Oh my God. The thing is, with me, I don't know when to turn it in.
Same. I'm a very 6 a.m. girl, to be
Yeah.
fair. I'm just like, let's.
What is that though? Like what? Like I don't.
Because you're a gay man, Olivia.
Do you think?
Yeah, we're all wired the same way. You look like a gay man today. You look like Gok1 today. You are a gay man today. You are a
This is
homosexual
very
through
Gok.
and through.
Or the Gok where like, we're just going to throw in like a little like tiara and like
Yeah.
do you ever see those videos from him, those styling shows?
Yeah.
And he's like making the arts and crafts. He's like, just like a little like silver tinfoil skirt, so chic. And like, you can go from day to office. Like,
That's him.
when has everyone ever had to go from the office to the club? Like, remember that was like a big thing that millennial women
pencils, yes.
worried about
Yeah,
from
yeah.
office to club. It's never
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
It's never happened.
No.
You've never had to utilise office to club.
No, but you're millennial, aren't you?
Yes.
Do you remember when people used to go out in office wear?
Yes.
You just go out in like pencil skirts and blazers like, oh my God, a night
And
out.
the peplum thing, and then
Yeah.
like the big platform wedges with the peep toe.
Yeah. That was me.
Yeah. No, but maybe that is it. And a lot of my friends are gay. So obviously, like the gay
Gays don't stop.
district is the one that stays open till fucking 6 a.m. Gay bars, clubs,
Yeah.
Canal Street.
Yeah, I was out with my friend last night and Abbott Slosh, we stayed out till I think it was 2. I was like, where should we go now? She was like, let's go Canal Street. The gays don't rest. I literally walked in. It was a full-on rave. I was like, I'm with my people.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I
It's
need.
just the resilience of the gays. That's what it
Don't
is.
stop.
They don't need, they can take it. They don't need rest. They're
Yeah.
just ready to go.
Literally, that was me last night. I was out till about 3, woke up at 8, was on the train. I was like, let's go.
Let's fucking go,
Thrown
bitch.
up and I'm off.
And what was that Avanti West Coast experience like for you?
Oh.
How often are you riding those rails? Because, baby, for the last 5 years, I've been racking up the miles on those rails.
I feel like they need to give us, I don't know, like our own seat.
Do you remember when it was Virgin?
Yes, I do remember when it was Virgin.
Like the
I'm that old.
golden days.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to get sued by any companies. And if they want to sponsor the pod, I'll retract all of this.
Yeah, fair.
But
And if you want to give us like a
yeah,
real
you
card
want to
or
get
something.
they are just they are literally, they go, you're going to Manchester, 300 quid.
No, did
And
you?
they spit at you.
And then they go, and we're going,
And they go,
yeah.
and do you want a bread roll?
And they
Have
go,
that.
and it's going to be 3 hours delayed.
Yes.
And when you come into London Euston, you're going to walk into a fucking minefield.
A crackdown.
Literally,
Actual
everyone's
active
on
crackdown.
spice.
Yeah.
Like this, looking at the screen. When is it? When is it? When is it? And I'm just like, right, everyone needs a
And
polo
a
mint.
good sprinkle of pigeons.
Yeah.
About 50 of them.
One attacked me just. It literally went, I was like, I don't get this up north.
Homophobic.
Homophobic. All the signs are pointing to homophobia today.
I mean, I guess the question you've been asked so many times, but do you remember the age or the time when you was aware that you felt you'd been born in the wrong body?
I knew when I was 6.
Wow.
So when I was about 6, I remember watching EastEnders, and it was always a female boss villain characters that I was like, wow, one day I'm going to grow up to be like that. I was very naive and childish as like when I was a kid. And I actually thought that when you go through puberty, you go through what you're meant to go through. So I thought...
did you think you'd
I'd
go
go
through-
through female, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's how delusional I was. So I'd seen, I wasn't allowed a phone. This was years ago. The only time I could research stuff was in ICT. Was it called ICT?
Oh my
IT
God,
class.
yeah. When you had a computer.
When you had
in
a
front of you,
computer.
a big
But everything
box
was
one.
blocked. Everything you type in was blocked. You couldn't go on much. And I just used to be like...
So you had no way of kind of researching or like hearing other people's stories?
Until we got a computer at home.
Okay.
Then when we got a computer at home, I was like transgender, deleted the clear history.
And how did you even know what to search for?
Because there was a documentary. They talked about ladyboys and cross-dressers and all the different types of like the gender spectrum and what it means. And I was about 11 or 12 and we went through sex education in school. And that was then a light bulb moment where I actually knew for sure, because they said, this is LGBT, we'll cover this slightly. They never talked about like, you know, gay sex. It was always just a man and a woman and a missionary. And then they briefly talked about, and someone who's trans is someone who's born in the wrong body. And when I tell you, Liv, honestly, it was like a light bulb moment. And I was like, I am a girl born in the wrong body. And there will always be people that say to me, but you're not. You were born a boy, you'll always be a boy. I never said to my mum when I came out a few weeks after that, so I must have been about 12, 13. She said, is there something going on? Are you gay? And I was like, no. I said, I'm a girl. And she went, you want to be a girl? And I went, no, I don't want to be one. I am one. And she was like, you can't be, you're a boy. And I was just like, I don't know what it is, Mum, but I'm telling you, I was not born to be. It's not about physically, it was about how I felt inside. So the reason I've had surgery is to match how I've always felt inside. So I'll never know how you feel. I'll never be able to say I know how it feels to be a cisgender woman. And when people go on about like trans women are taking away female rights and the suffragettes and all that stuff, and we're taking away like women's rights, I think I'm just here existing as a woman who happens to be maybe a different type of woman, and my journey to womanhood is slightly different to yours. Doesn't make me any less of a woman.
There's not enough value placed on friendships for women, I think, versus romantic relationships. And actually, my female friendships are the ones that have like literally saved my life, not my romantic relationships. But I don't think we talk about it enough.
I could not agree more. It's like you're in my head. That's exactly what I think. My friends are the loves of my life.
Yeah.
They have got me through some really, really difficult stuff. They were the ones who were there, who've been consistent. And I completely agree that not enough attention is paid to the extraordinary gift of friendship in our lives. And I wanted to write a book about it to put that right, because so much of our culture is devoted to romantic love. All of our songs really, like works of great literature, movies, so much of them are about romantic love. And so I wanted to pay tribute to what friendship meant to me, both the presence of it and the absence of it. And I think one of the things about not having a language around friendship, not having that kind of vocabulary that we have for romance, is that not only can we not celebrate it in the right way, but we can't end things when they're not working. And actually, friendship breakups are real. And because there hasn't been the language, I know that many of us have been ghosted, or we've been left feeling so grief-struck by a friendship that's ended that we felt lots of internalized shame and like we've done something wrong. I've been ghosted, like friendships of mine have
ended.
And
like you say, you don't feel like you can, it always was embarrassing to get upset, where someone would, like, if you comforted someone crying over a boyfriend or a girlfriend, it feels more socially acceptable. If like, oh, I fell out with my friend, people automatically go, grow up. Like, you know,
exactly.
It's like you say, it's painful.
It's really painful. And there's this sort of wrong idea that in order to be a quote unquote good friend, which in itself is quite moralizing language, you have to be friends for life. If you sat next to someone at primary school because your surname started with the same letter, you're locked in, you've got to be friends for life, otherwise you've failed. And I'm a huge advocate of that not being the case, of friends coming into your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And we evolve and we grow. And just like with romantic love, we can end things if they're no longer working for either party. And so writing this book, Friendaholic, was also about that. It's about how to end or evolve things with love and clarity too.
My God, I do feel like we do have a bit of like a shared brain in some way. 'Cause
Ditto.
I do have so many of the same opinions as you on things. And like you say, I'm the same. I have friends I had at periods of my life where it made sense and our friendship made sense and we both, gained from that friendship. But now it wouldn't make sense. And it's not because I don't hate that person. I don't wish them ill. There was no particular fallout. It just like we've evolved as humans and we kind of evolved in separate directions.
Yeah. In the same way that the person you dated at secondary school might not be your partner now.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah. And I think it's really important to ask yourself what your metric of friendship is. So for some people, it will be a daily phone call. That's not me. Refer you to my previous comments on introversion. I hate the phone.
Yeah.
I love a voice note, but
you don't want to sit on the phone every single night.
No. But for me, the most important metric is generosity of spirit. So someone who is thinking well of you, that's their default, is to think well of you and to support you. And even if you're not in touch, because life can be crazy and hectic, if you're not in touch for a few weeks, you can have confidence that they are still loving you from afar and that when you do pick up the phone or when you do see them, you can hit that relational depth really quickly.
Yeah.
And it's like no time has passed. That for me is friendship.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I read that you started suffering from panic attacks
very badly
around the time you were modelling.
Yeah.
How did they present themselves? And was it? Do you think it was connected to the work?
It was very well. I started getting a lot of kind of persecution from the press,
right?
And this was the 90s. This was when the press were absolute horrors, from phone tappings to chasing. And I was a 16, 17-year-old girl and I'm being chased down the motorway. I'm literally, anywhere I went, they'd be leaning over the wall. There would be, just literally hounded. And I was very sporty when I was at school. And then I went into modelling and just basically didn't do any sport and lost all my muscle and was just 6'2" and very long and gangly and started getting a lot of shit. Can I say shit?
Oh, yeah. We swear.
Yeah, a lot of shit for being too skinny. So isn't
that weird though, when in that world where the pressure is to be skinny?
Yeah, exactly.
So was it the press that had an issue with your weight, not the industry?
But it was also the time, because the time was very kind of heroin chic. So, we'd just come off the back of the Supers, which was voluptuous and beauty and just absolutely gorgeousness, and everyone was like this. And then we kind of went through this period of, I would be at a shoot and, we were vessels. So I didn't have a lot of say of what my hair and makeup would look like and what I'm wearing or the art direction. And so you would go to a shoot and they would put like eyeliner and smudge it all down your face. And then I would want to, sit and do a lovely pose. And they were like, no, can you be much more kind of like this? And it was just that kind of, period where the lighting was all dark and dingy and
very grungy,
really grungy, really heroin chic, and it just was a time where people just didn't like the direction that the industry was going in. And so I just became like the spearhead of everyone's anger. So, I mean, daily on fronts of every newspaper. And that slowly really started grating on me because I'm just such a people pleaser and I've got a big heart and I can't really handle that well. And so quietly I started getting anxiety. I thought everyone was staring at me. I had a point where I came back home and I went shopping. I was living in Hammersmith and I went shopping to get some food, and this woman came up to me in the supermarket and said, you're killing my daughter. It's people like you that are killing my daughter. And I was just like, God, and that was the first time that I kind of had
that's horrific, Jodie.
a real panic, and I just was going, what is going on?
Yeah.
But the thing is, then I started really suffering quietly, and no one knew what anxiety was.
No.
So I went to the doctor and I said, look, I can't sleep. I'm finding it hard to eat. I'm in this state. I don't know what's going on. And they said, well, just take some beta blockers. So anyway, they put me on these pills and I was just like walking around going,
just
flat. That was not, just horrible. And then I remember walking down a catwalk in Milan and I had the biggest panic attack. Everyone was just staring at me. I thought they were just criticizing me, looking at everything. I didn't know where to put any, and I just turned around halfway down the catwalk and went straight to the airport. And I was pretty much the last catwalk show that I did. I just had a complete kind of meltdown. But I think what was happening was because I now know with anxiety, I was in a flight or fright stage. I had so much adrenaline going through my body the whole time that I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. Then I got skinnier. But the thing is, then I was working more. I'd never worked so much in my life was when I was in this absolute terrified state, because I was just all skin and bones. But the industry seemed to like me the most then, which, in hindsight, I look back and go, oh, it's really not
No, it's
great.
not great. When you broke through comedy, it was very much a boys' club. I mean, there's an argument to say it still is. What would your advice be of how to kind of advocate for yourself in the workplace when you are in a male-dominated field?
I mean, it can be very scary, but you really have to stand up for yourself. Like, you have to be a dominant personality within that group. Like, you have to, if you're not going to stand up for yourself, no one will. And people will walk all over you given the chance. So it's really, you kind of have to advocate for yourself. And you have to believe in yourself and believe in what you're saying. It starts with you, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to. And not every group of men are going to behave that way. Yeah. It's certainly very common, but there are good men all over the place, and those people are our allies, and we need to use them as our allies. So you should find the people in your group that can, in your work environment, that are on your side, that will, stand by you. And if if that's a difficult task, then you have to make it very clear that you're not to be bullied, because that's just a slippery slope. The minute you let somebody a little, you give them an inch and they take a mile, it's true. So I just don't put up with that, but I know it's not as easy for many people to have that kind of attitude, and they could feel intimidated. But I would say to start practicing it, in any way you can, whether you're at the grocery store, whether you're at home, practice being self-assured and being able to stand up for what you believe is right and for yourself.
Everyone goes on a style journey, but I mean, honestly, like I feel like it was really quite well put together for a while in my 20s. And everything. It's weird. Something happened to me in the 2 years post Love Island. It's like I needed a lobotomy. You could smell the PVC. You could smell the fucking unwashed vagina. Yeah, it was pure. I just looked like I started Bacardi Breezes and fucking regret. Yeah. And I would get sent all this like free shit from like the fast fashion brands, and I would just dig into the bag and put whatever I thought. That was the moment
you enjoyed.
I guess I was like, I was reckless, and I think, I wanted to just look sexy all the time. So it was just tits and arse. It
didn't work, but...
You fucking bitch. So
I enjoy what you do now, though. It's classy, but with like a cool edge. You know what I mean?
But I still know how to like throw on a pair of like crop skimming hot pants and throw it down.
If she wants to slut it up, like Ibiza this year, we're slutting it up, aren't we?
I was slutty the year gone, and this year's gonna be. Actually, let's not call it slutty. I was naked. You're in Ibiza. You're going raving. Like, when else are you gonna wear a belt for a skirt? Yeah. I feel like the beauty is I can do both. I can do tailoring, I can do my moment, I can hang out with fucking Queen Camilla last week. And you'll catch me at high at 5 a.m. in the summer,
living life
in a belt.
Absolutely.
Talking of fashion, so my producers have done a little thing for us. They have pulled out a series of looks from various years.
Oh, God.
For me and you.
This is a hate crime.
So if you're watching this, you'll see. But if you are listening, I'm going to describe them for you, so you won't miss out. But should we get the cards? And then we're going to basically rate each other's outfits. This is Live in Dubai 2019. Okay, so you can see from my hand, that's before we got engaged. It's
your nails.
I'm wearing a Balmain t-shirt dress. I've got a black Chanel boy bag. I don't know what jewelry I'm wearing. I've got short white nails. This to me is very much Brad and I in our era of the first time we had a bit of money and we didn't know how to behave. Because why the fuck are you wearing a t-shirt that says Balmain on it 85 times? Like, the boy bag with the gold hardware's bad enough, but with the t-shirt and the hair and the jewellery and the white nails,
I was like, why are you so orange? I've got yellow glasses on. It really heightens it. I was like,
I am
Jesus.
also orange. My lips are blown up like a spare tyre. It's very much giving Championship League football completed it. I'm the ultimate wag.
Do you know what? You actually look quite cheap there, but you're not a cheap girl.
And I probably bankrupted myself that outfit. Yeah, it's giving cheap. It's giving new money. I needed everyone to know that we were comfortable.
Do you know what? I don't like when something's plastered like a logo. Nothing's working in that picture, honey.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
nothing's working.
So pleased with myself.
Do you know what's really making me ill? Is the nails.
Vile.
Ooh, hoo, hoo. D.
Yeah, she's cheap. I'm giving her a 2. She was enjoying herself, but she should have been doing it quietly.
Now that you've told me it's abroad, the T-shirt makes sense.
I'm in Dubai, and I probably had like a heel on there.
I wonder what shoe you was going to wear.
I think I did. I had like 100mm Louboutin on. So the red sole just to finish it off. I remember.
It's giving hugger.
You both like to party. Your girls after my own heart. This is why I've always loved these two, because I feel like you don't take yourselves too seriously. You love to have a good time. And I actually feel like having a good time has like gone, it's like an epidemic of boring people.
I'm so against the clean girl era. It makes me feel sick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like especially when you're in your 20s, it's like you should be going out, you should be eating McDonald's, you should be like sleeping in your makeup. Like what is this like Pilates and matcha bullshit? Like I'm so sick of it.
It's actually boring.
I am so sick of it.
I love that they've made clubs open. I don't even go to the club, but I will now because they're open past 3, bitch.
When's that happening?
A new law is coming to place. Said something the other day.
Good. They realised that fucking we're a generation of boring people.
Yeah.
And we need to party longer.
Yeah.
Who
exactly what we need
is
to do.
the worst influence out of you two? Who takes it? I already know the answers to this fucking question.
I think it might be me.
Listen, I'm always on board. This is the problem.
Yeah.
Chloe knows she'll say it and I'll be like, yes, 1,000,000%, let's do it. But like, I'm never the first one to say it. Because I'm like, let's take it easy tonight. Let's have a few drinks
Might as
and
well
like
be Spanish.
Yeah, and then Chloe knows in her head. And we know.
Do you
Can
think
you relate? Because you've got ADHD, yeah?
I can't have a few drinks?
No, and you're, yeah.
That's
Okay,
just
good.
not- it's
I
not-
feel
yeah.
seen and heard. I'm just ready for the next thing. What's more fun? What's more fun?
But are you ADHD?
Hell's yeah.
You know, so it's like a dopamine addiction.
Yeah.
So like you just keep the feeling of it.
Yeah.
Like you don't want it to stop. Like just keep going.
And I want to top it. I'm like, yeah,
And next
cool,
thing
we're
you know,
at
it's
this
like
bar.
6 a.m. and you're like,
Okay, great.
No, but I understand that, but then I don't have ADHD.
No, but you'll come along.
But
for the
like, I
ride.
get that party vibe is where like you just love having so much fun. I
Yeah.
love having fun.
yeah. I feel like, could you have a glass of wine to chill out?
A bottle of red, yeah. A whole bowl.
You see, my ADHD thing, I could never have a drink. When people go, let's have a glass of wine and then go to bed, that is insane to me. Like, I have a glass of wine and I'm trying to come out the window.
Yeah.
Like really early on in dating, Brad like realised what I was like with alcohol. And he made this like thing where he's like, you can't drink on airplanes. Because when people have a drink on an airplane.
My favourite time to drink.
I'm like trying to get in the cockpit. Like I'm going to have them emergency land this thing. So he's literally like, you know, if you're sitting in business, they bring around the champagne. He's literally like this. He's like, no. Because either I'm trying to do something stupid or I just don't stop talking for like 7 hours. And he's like, oh my God, like just rest.
Yeah, like 1 or 2, I'm kind of there, but 3, I then enter like this coma on a plane.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Millie's always
never...
like, do 3. And I'm
What,
like,
then you're like unconscious?
Yeah.
and I'm unconscious.
And then I'm now having fun on my own and I'm still drinking and I'm like looking over thinking, is she going to wake up anytime soon? I think, I better go to sleep. And then we wake up and start
we go
drinking again.
As you know, the So Wrong It's Right box is a staple of this show. It's legendary, and so many of our guests give iconic answers and very, very funny So Wrong It's Rights of their own. So I thought I would show you some of my favourites from this series.
I think it's so wrong, it's right. That, you know, like if if you need to pass wind,
Yeah.
if you need to fart,
Yeah.
to like, and you're in a busy place and you can't hold it in, to go over to your partner, lean up against them, do it, and then walk away as quickly as possible, and then everyone thinks it was them.
Do you do that?
Yes.
Now that's what people are going to think about.
I
when they
know.
think of you.
The first time I did it was me and Wayne had got off a flight and it was like really busy. You know, you're all trying to go through passport control, and I knew I couldn't hold it. I couldn't keep it in. So I literally like squeezed up to him, like stood in front of him, put my bum against him, let it out, and then just like weaved my way through the crowd as quickly as possible.
Did he feel the vibrations?
And I looked back and I just saw him look at me and he just went, "You bitch." And then I did it to him again once when we were on a night out, and I sat on his lap like I love you or whatever, and then quickly walked away and swamped off into the crowd, and he did exactly the same thing.
That's the best So Wrong It's Right I've had in ages.
Really?
A lot of my guests, they crumble under the pressure and they don't bring one.
Yeah, I mean, if you give me homework, I'm going to do it.
Okay, kissing with your eyes open.
No, wrong, gross.
If I kissed a dude and his eyes were open, I think I'd literally grab pepper spray or call the police. I'm like, he's going to murder me after this. It's
What
the only
about
thing.
guys going down on you and then looking up at you? Have you ever had that happen?
Yeah.
What's that about?
When
Who
they're
told men to do that?
They're peeking from the pelvic bone just like
looking at you.
Your
It's
reaction.
like, aren't you busy?
Yeah.
Aren't you busy working?
Pulling out the receipts to back up an argument.
Right.
I like a receipt.
Yeah.
Oh, we like receipts.
We love receipts.
Receipts, timeline, screenshots.
Oh, you're bad for that.
Yeah.
She'd go back like 6 months. I'm like, November the 12th.
At this time, you did this.
Yeah, 8:42. I'm like, what
Have
the
you
fuck?
had a hard time leaving the past in the past?
No.
No, that's good.
I feel like we've completely cleared up everything.
Yeah.
haven't we?
But I think doing the show helped.
Yeah.
Because now it's just like you've got other things to
Bookmarks
think
it.
about. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Dating someone shorter than you.
Well, tick for me, yeah, that would be a bit weird if I
No,
was
but
dating.
the other way round. Would you care? I mean,
Imagine if someone was shorter than me. Like, I'm sorry, but no. I'm 5'2" at a push.
Oh
That's why I've got these stilts on today.
So you wouldn't date a 5-foot man?
No. And also, like, I like taller guys, right? So whenever I say that to my mates, they'd be like, yeah, but like my girlfriends that are taller than me, they'd be like, well, you need to leave the taller ones for us because we want the taller man. You're short, so you can have the short man.
But so I'm tall, and this I've probably spoken on the podcast before. I'm married to someone that's the same height as me, but
That's
he
acceptable.
will say that he's taller, but that's in his own delusion. And then I wear heels, and I'm taller. He doesn't care, like he's never cared, and I always fancied smaller guys. How weird
That's
is
like
that?
a fetish.
What, like?
Is it?
No, that the really tall ones, in my opinion, are really bad in bed. I just feel like they think they're tall. It's like, yeah, they're tall. So it's like they feel like they think they've done enough. I don't know, they don't. I've never had that good experience with tall men. And do you know what's weird? It's like when I've dated actually genuinely tall men, they're the ones that are like, oh my God, really? Like the 100mm Louboutins? I'm like, but you're still taller than me. Whereas men who are like my height or smaller are normally like, oh my God, yeah, wear the heel. Like I look rich next to you now. Because like, why else would you be with a small guy? Whereas I feel like tall men, like they're being tall is their only thing. So it's like they're very protective over the tallness.
And they normally have better chat, not short lads, but the average height lads.
Because I feel like because the tall guys, they ride on the tallness. They're like, that's their thing.
Yeah.
Leaving a party without saying goodbye, backdoor exit.
I think that's so wrong because I just can't. I'm always the last one to leave a party. So
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so that's so wrong. Shame on you guys. Shame on you
But
guys.
I wish I. Like, if you are going to leave, backdooring it is like the smart thing to do. Because if you try and leave one of my parties,
You're
you
not
can't
letting-
leave.
yeah, you're not letting
Like,
them
that's
leave.
what I always do. Whenever anyone comes back to mine after, they're like, well, don't go back there because you won't leave for 3 days. Like, I'm like, everyone's in. We're all in this together.
Yeah, no, I'm the exact same. It's the only way.
So the
I
only way
believe
you can
that's-
go is just by silently
Maybe it's so
exiting.
clever, but I do think it's so wrong.
Yeah,
If you come to
agreed.
my after party, you're staying at my after party until I tell you to leave.
Keeping images of your ex on social media.
At the moment, I have, yeah.
This is really weird. Because someone pointed out to me the other day, and I was like, do I? Someone was like, you've still got Chris on your Instagram. So I went all the way down, because I just don't delete anything off
Yeah.
Instagram. And then I realised, I was like, oh yeah, I do. But also, I was like, there's a whole show about us dating that's out there
Yeah.
forever, so I don't think it's that fucking deep. Like, people know we dated.
Yeah, like it's no surprise. I feel like also it's, for me, it's like it's part of my life, part of
I
my
know,
chapter.
I'm a bit the same as that.
Yeah, like what's the point of raising a whole chapter just because you broke up with someone? I feel
Yeah.
like I don't know.
I did this is not social media, but I did like a garage clear out a couple of weeks ago, and I found this box. It must have come from when my mum and dad moved house, and in it are photos of me and an ex on holiday.
Yeah.
And then my friend Ryan was like to me, "What are you gonna do? Why have you kept all these? Like, do you want to chuck them?" And I was like, kind of don't, because like it was a part of my life. Like maybe when I'm like 50, I'll want to like look, but like not that like I don't fucking miss them or anything, but it's like I still lived it. I still kind of feel like when I'm older, I might want to be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't regret like any of it. So it's like
I don't think I'm not that deep on the social media thing.
No.
But I mean, if Brad had his ex, I'm just,
it was the other way around. However,
I'm like, what? Do you love her still? Checking your phone mid-sex. Has anyone ever done that?
So wrong, it's right. What if there's an emergency? No, I can do it. They can't.
Well, what if he has an emergency?
Don't care.
I did something once and Brad got really aggy and I didn't even, and actually he's good in bed, so this is like no reflection on him, but you know sometimes when they're so into it and you're just like, okay, I'll do it, I'll take one for the team, but I'm not gonna finish and I'm not like bothered about it.
Yeah.
And I realised I was watching TV over his shoulder, it was on in the background and I was locked in, it was The Chase. And he said something and I didn't respond, and then he went, "Are you watching that?" And I went, "Sorry, no, this is amazing." And he was like, "You are watching the fucking telly."
Listen, it happens. If it's there in the background, it might catch the eye.
But I feel like men don't get this because once they have a hard willy, it's like everything leaves the big. Like if I'm not fully in the mood, my brain can think. I can go.
Yeah,
it can just open and let it happen.
But we don't have to do much to be involved.
No, I agree.
can perform my act.
Laying
my
still.
scene, and then I'm done. And if you're still going on, that's on you, babes. The TV's on. I might be on my phone.
The Chase is on.
Yeah, The Chase is very much on.
Dolls, thank you for listening to this bonus app. I hope you enjoyed watching and listening as much as we enjoyed reliving all those moments. Now, we are gearing up for the future of this podcast and what it could become, what it is, what is yet to be. And we always want to know what you want. So what do you think the pod should do next? Who do you think our next guest should be? We want to hear from you. If you can just get active on social media, leave comments, requests, because it's really, really helpful for me and the team. And I will see you very soon.